There are so many rumors surrounding Minecraft Championship. Myths about it that either appeared out of nowhere or are no longer true. Today, we'll be going through 10 of these MCC myths and debunking them. I'm your host, the LockieNess monster. Let's get it. Parkour Warrior was removed because Dream was too good. We all remember that Parkour Warrior was blown to shreds in MCC 11 after Dream completed it, with Epic Landlord going mad with rage.
Oh, it's blowing up! The whole thing's blowing up! Oh no!
But that's not why it was blown up. A lot of people believed that Parkour Warrior was blown up specifically to nerf Dream and prevent him from gaining a huge advantage over the rest of the players. But that isn't the case. Instead, it was because the difficulty of the course had simply risen too high and wasn't consistent between stages. Many people would get stuck at 3-2 and 5-1 and would stay there for a few minutes, which was bad content for their streams and just resulted in people getting mad at themselves.
Oh, this isn't fun. This isn't a fun video game anymore for me.
Grian had the first successful 1v3 in Dodgeball. Grian's performance in MCC 17 Dodgeball was absolutely outstanding, with round 5 and his 1v3 being one of the most memorable moments in MCC history.
Yes! Oh my god!
But a lot of people forget that this wasn't actually the first 1v3 in Dodgeball. In MCC 8, Joel also did a 1v3 against a pink team that had two S tiers on it, Technoblade and Dream. Even more similarly, if he hadn't won that 1v3, then his team would have lost the whole tournament right there and then. Winning that round gave them another chance to defeat the Dream and Technoblade duo in Dodgeball.
Let's go! Let's go!
How does tie-breaking work? It's a rare occurrence, but in MCC there have been situations where there were ties between teams, although they never stuck to the end.
We're tied for one! We're tied for one!
Before MCC 17, many people believed that tiebreaks were decided by unmultiplied coins. This Nox crew member, whose name I cannot pronounce, shot this theory down, stating that ties were decided by color order, so red would always win in a tiebreak and pink would always lose. In the MCC 17 update video, this was changed. The new system was that whoever was in the lead the game before would win the tiebreaker. And no, the current system hasn't always been there. Nox crew were just joking in the update video.
Yeah, and that was always coded in from the start. Yeah, we always had that.
The Sands of Time dungeon is completely randomized. But first, before we continue with the video, we need to talk about another myth. The myth that we don't have a Discord server. By clicking the link in the description, you can join a group of fans who all love MCC. There's even a chat for anything relating to this YouTube channel, so you can suggest video ideas and ask us anything you want, like, Lockie, when are you gonna be in MCC? And with that myth thoroughly solved, let's get back to the video. A lot of people know that the Sands of Time dungeon is randomly generated, with each map having its own seed, but many make the mistake of believing that everything is fully randomized. For one, numerous different maps are used in testing, and the Nox crew hand-pick the one they feel is best. They also give a max coin and sand count for the dungeon, which has gradually been decreasing over time as the competitors get better. This is to make sure that the dungeons aren't too overpowered or underpowered, but have just the right elements of a good map. The Una Reverse card. The Una Reverse card was an item in the Decision Dome, but many misunderstood it and got confused at what it did. Using the item made all the currently existing chickens flip upside down and count as negative votes, meaning that it was most likely that the game with the least votes would win. But any chickens cast after the Una Reverse card was used would still stay right side up and count as normal votes. The only thing more complex than this power-up is me trying to explain this power-up. Another widely believed myth is that the Una Reverse card is still in MCC. After MCC 12, it was removed silently, so not many people realize it's gone.
I'm so lost.
You need to fill in the wool to win Battlebox. There is a common misconception in Battlebox that in order to win, you need to fill in the entire 3x3 square of wool. In truth, filling in the entire square just makes the game end early. When the timer runs out, whoever has more of their wool color in the center wins the game. For example, take Red vs Lime in MCC 2. Everyone ended up dying that round, causing the timer to run out in the end. However, with Lime placing 6 out of 9, and Red only placing 2 out of 9 blocks, Lime got the full victory bonus.
They died to fall damage.
They won because they got the will.
A more recent example is Red vs Fuchsia in MCC 18. When it came down to Awesome Dude vs Tommy, Dream told Sam to focus on the wool, so despite Tommy killing Sam, Red still lost because Fuchsia managed to get the most wool in the center.
Please color blocks. Just place the color blocks. Place a couple. You need more plates more than that.
Kill him!
Let's go! Nice!
Let's go!
Fall damage and harming potions in Battlebox. Speaking of Battlebox, fall damage doesn't actually exist in it. Right now, at least. Back in MCC 2, fall damage was actually a thing, and one player, Burren, actually died from it.
I'm
Change
dead.
the green!
No, everyone's dead.
They died.
This was changed later on, so this has since been forgotten, and most people assume that it's never been a thing. In a similar vein, harming potions don't actually deal damage to your teammates, despite most players believing it does and even thinking that they took damage from one. Scott has control on what changes happen in the event. It's common knowledge that Scott Smajor is the MCC organizer, but many people don't really know what that means. Lots of viewers falsely assume that he has influence over change that happen to the event. Whether that be something like new games or scoring changes, Scott's job is just to organize the teams. He doesn't even decide the date. What he should decide is to put LockieNess in Season 3. Dream was the first person to fall off the arena in Dodgeball. It's always hilarious when someone falls off the Dodgeball platform, but whenever it happens, both participants and viewers always assume it was the first time. It happened when Burren fell off in MCC 8, when Tapple fell off in MCC 12, and when Dream fell off in MCC 16. But the original participant to fall off the platform was actually Dave Kratzy in MCC 3.
Oh, what the?
Oh no, you gotta be careful, the border shrinks, dude.
The first MCC with the Dodgeball platform started shrinking. He's also the only person to fall off the platform and not win the event.
No!
Ranboo was banned from MCC. Finally, this is potentially the most famous myth there has ever been in MCC. I know it's my favorite. There was a meme before MCC 15 that Ranboo had been banned from MCC and would never be allowed to play. Of course, we now know that he definitely isn't, but lots of viewers actually believed it was true at the time. In addition, not many people know where it started. In a stream where Tubbo was chatting about MCC, Scott sent this message in the chat. Following this, Ranboo tweeted out an image of him applying to MCC with the simple message of, "I have clout, please." Lauren, the MCC Twitter lady, replied wishing him the best in his future endeavors, not mentioning anything about MCC. Ending this Twitter thread, Ranboo replied with, "Am I banned?" This spawned the rumor that Ranboo had actually been banned from MCC, never to play in the best event the Minecraft gods have ever blessed us with.
Let's go!